we're going to go ahead and bring up Miss Nubian Secret. She also, I'm sorry, you guys, I want to tell you one thing, though. She's also a playwright, and her stage play was here just last month. You're just looking at me crazy. Go break up to make up. So she's also a playwright, as well as a poet, and an expecting mother, and newly married.
How y'all doing? I am a little rusty. I haven't performed in like 6 months since I found out I was pregnant, so I stopped. But I thought this was a good event to come help out with. Thanks to Jessica and Unlikely Story. I have 2 poems for you tonight. I knew they would be talking about like a lot of serious topics tonight, so I wanted to lighten it up a little bit. The first poem that I wrote is called Disclaimers. Before I give the poem, how many of you are in relationships right now? Okay. How many of you think that you are the same person now than when you started your relationship? All right. Okay, this poem is going to be for all you liars. Warning, warning. The following poem may urge you to yell out a few, I know that's right. Warning, warning. Some poets might think this is a man-hating poem, but this relates to all races, genders, religious preference, ethnicities, and military background. Warning, warning. You're so vain, you probably think that this poem is about you. And it is. Love. The oldest word in history. We all know how the story goes. Boy meets girl, boy falls in love with girl, boys marry girls and have a baby. We've all been courted one time in our life. You see, this is the moment you pull out all your best tricks. If you're a guy, you're opening doors, pulling out chairs, and flattering your girls with compliments. In the beginning, you call her just to say I love you, or you send her a dozen roses just because it's Monday. If you're a girl, you're sucking and tucking and all that extra skin, hiding blemishes with makeup, trying not to eat so much on the first date, wearing that sexy lingerie. This, my friend, is called the entrapment clause. This is the fine print of the contract that nobody reads. This is where you sell a person a dream, when in actuality, some of you should come with a disclaimer. Warning, warning. Once you become my girlfriend, I will no longer compliment you. I won't open your door, won't pull out your chair, and you can sit on the floor for all I care. Oh, and that dozens of roses will turn into a half-eaten Snicker bar. Or, warning, warning. Now that we're together, I will no longer hide my pimples or suck in my fat, because you should love me for who I am. And not what I look like. And that two-piece bedwear is going to turn into grandma panties and a headscarf with rollers. Now you're feeling cheated, because this was not a part of the original contract. See, we become another person to get that special person and become our true selves when we seal the deal. This, my friend, is when the opposite party has breached the initial contract, which allows the existing party to exit. Love is a silly game, and we've all played it. We become different characters just to capture a moment, but the moment was never really ours because we were never truly ourselves. This is why when I meet a guy, I put my disclaimer on the table. Warning, warning. I'm moody, emotional, and require a lot of attention. I talk with my hands, which may come across as being abusive, but I swear to you that it's only love taps. I love to be held and kissed. Get crowned in my system, and I might become another person. Oh, and I love to have sex on a regular basis. And believe me when I say I love you, I love only you. So what will your disclaimer be? The last one is a little bit more serious. It's called I Could Have Had a Son.
I think that's fine.
Okay. I could have had a son. It could have been you, me, and he, and our daughters would have made us we, you see, because I could have had a son. Wait, let me start from the beginning. I fell in love so hard. That's why it hurt so much. Hurt like your first love just ripped out your heart. Hurt like you missing the final shot of the 3-second buzzer. Hurt like the labor pains that I will never get to experience with you because I could have had a son. And no, there were no fatal signs in the pregnancies, but we were just beginning out, you see, your would-be dad and me. And it's not that he didn't love me or care for me, just maybe not enough to carry his seed. Now I'm sitting in his chair thinking that I could have had a son. And you would have loved your sisters. You would have been a great brother, and I would have been that loving and supportive mother, letting you know no girl would ever be good enough for my son, because you will always be my number one. And we would have shared our father-son talks and our mother-son fights, you being picked on by your sisters and keeping guys from out their sight, but those days will never be, because we were just not ready. Or was it he? Because I would have had you gladly, but I would have risked the chance of losing we, and it would have been you, your sister, and me, and I didn't want to feel so lonely, so I'm crying on this mic, regretting the things that I've done, blaming myself because I could have had a son. Wondering if he would have had my big eyes or your dad's button nose, his great looks and my skinny toes. You could have had a personality people would envy or been blessed with the gift to gab, and when you wanted to know about girls, you go have that conversation with your dad. But those talks will go unspoken, and I won't get to tuck you in at night. I won't be the referee when you and your dad have that big fight, because you'll be I'm of the new age and you're living in the golden times. And I cry myself to sleep each night because your skin will never touch mine. Now, 2 years have passed, and I can't erase the things that I've done, praying that God forgives me because I could have had a son.